While Disneyland has been closed for over 6 months now, it really seems like over the past week or so, things are coming to a boiling point as Anaheim and Orange County officials are pleading with the governor to provide the reopening guidelines that they need to get Disneyland open again. In this video, we're going to talk about why things are heating up right now, and we'll also talk about the latest reopening preparations we've seen at Disneyland over the past week. Hey there, my name's Eric D, and on this channel my hope is always to make your next Disney adventure a little bit more magical with tips and tricks, food reviews, and news. So if you haven't already, consider subscribing to the channel. But on this past Wednesday, September 16th, Governor Gavin Newsom made national headlines when he said, "We will be making announcements soon as it relates to theme parks and amusement parks. I am not here today to make that presentation, but want folks to know that we are actively working in a number of sectors." Just from that statement, you might be thinking, great, they will provide information within the next few days. But let's take a quick trip down memory lane. September 8th, the governor said they were, and I quote, "getting closer to concluding when and how to reopen theme parks." On Wednesday, September 2nd, he said, "Progress is being made. We're still working on some details, and as soon as we are at a point where we can socialize, we will." On August 28th, he said, "Specific to amusement park operators, we are working with them. It is a very dynamic conversation, and so we didn't include it in the update today. So you'll be getting that as soon as we work through that. One of my afternoon meetings is in that space, and we're actively looking to see where we land on that." And then going all the way back to June 24th, where Disneyland officially said, "The state of California has now indicated that it will not issue theme park reopening guidelines until sometime after July 4th. Given the time required for us to bring thousands of cast members back to work and restart our business, we have no choice but to delay the reopening of our theme parks and hotels until we receive approval from government officials." So while the governor may have been saying this week that the theme park reopening guidelines were coming soon, we've heard that wording before, and we haven't seen much visible action. And the leadership in Anaheim and Orange County are losing patience because they're seeing the impact it's actually having on their communities. So this past week, the mayors of Anaheim, Buena Park, and Garden Grove, along with other Orange County leaders and business owners, held a press conference and also launched Reopen OC Now, where they outlined the economic impact the closure is having on individuals and families throughout their communities. At times, the various business owners and those representing workers got emotional as they spoke of those who had lost their jobs or are struggling to make ends meet. And I feel they made a compelling argument of why more transparency is needed and why getting those reopening guidelines is so vital to their communities. Here's just a moment of the press conference from the mayor of Anaheim.
But this is not about Disney. This closure is taking a toll on Disney, but the company will survive. This is not about saving thousands of jobs and hundreds of small businesses. It is about helping people pay their rent and feed their families. It is about making sure city can provide basic services.
So I think the mayor really laid that out well. As I've discussed before, it's not just about people like me wanting to, go on vacation or get a churro. No, it's about much more. It's about the individuals and families who need these jobs to support their families and to support the community. So I think he did a great job calling that information out.
I want to thank Governor Newsom, who I praised from day one for his leadership. I want to personally invite Governor Newsom to come to Anaheim, see the economic impact himself. It's a disaster right here. All the businesses are closed here. How long are you going to keep us closed? Give us the guidelines. It's going to take 6 weeks to open up Disney and other businesses. It's going to take some time. I'm asking you, I urge you, it's about time to look at what's going on in the city of Anaheim. This is the tourist destination. If it is not done on a timely basis, every businesses will be bankrupt.
That comment that it would take 6 weeks for Disneyland to reopen, I thought was interesting because from other sources we've been hearing it would take 10 to 14 days. And also Disneyland has made statements where they said they were ready to roll and they've been ready to go since July. So I thought that was interesting. So maybe the mayor and Disney aren't on the same page when it comes to time frames, or as one commenter said on my last video, They said that they're a union committee leader for one of the Big 12 unions, and they said that the unions and Disney still have plenty of work to do when it comes to negotiations, and that all cast members will have to spend about a month retraining, and new contracts will have to be set up for all off-property vendors, and that they can't settle even half of them until the state issues guidelines. So I couldn't get a second verification on this info, but I thought it was a helpful insight specifically with the mayor's comments.
I urge you, I want him to see that what we have done in our city and safety protocols placed in downtown Disney. Make no mistake, there is not a choice between public health and the economy. There's a path forward that guards against new cases and restores our economy. As we continue to fight coronavirus, we must now turn our attention to recovery of our economy right here. I again urge you, Governor Newsom, please give us the guidelines to reopen our Anaheim. Otherwise, you're going to see a disaster that you have never seen over these centuries. Thank you.
So you can see how passionate the mayor feels about this topic. I'll link the full news conference below. Like I said, there's a lot of good comments from a lot of different business leaders and individuals who are impacted by this. Separate from this news conference this week, we also heard from Disneyland Resort President Ken Potrock, who said, "We are disappointed with the state's lack of progress in providing the industry with guidance and clarity on reopening. We have proven that we can operate responsibly with strict health and safety protocols at our properties around the world and at downtown Disney in Anaheim. Tens of thousands of people's livelihoods depend on our ability to operate, and we stand ready and willing to accelerate discussions with the governor and his team to make real progress towards our reopening and getting people back to work." So as you can see, it really seems like Disneyland and the community and business officials are turning up the heat on the governor, which will be interesting to see how it plays out this next week. We continue to see Disneyland make preparations for reopening. Specifically this week, there was a lot of action on the tram route, and you might be saying, what's going on the tram route? Why would that even matter? Many people on social media and YouTube were reporting that there was music blaring, that there was also park benches added, social distancing signs, garbage cans. You might be asking why they're adding all those things if the trams are just going to be zooming by. In all likelihood, this will be a walking route, and people will still be parking at the Mickey and Friends and the Pixar parking structures, but instead of having them clump up and wait to get on a tram, to help spread people out and social distance, they'll probably have them walking along the tram route. So they're not all arriving in groups on the tram, but rather it will be a continuous flow of people walking over. So that's going to be very interesting to see how they turn that into a walking route. And I think they're going to want people walking that way instead of cutting to downtown Disney, because downtown Disney really kind of is a tight space and they can only have so many people in there at a time. And they'll already have hotel resort guests coming through that way. And so I think they'll want to keep all the people from the parking walking on the tram route, probably Disneyland Hotel, Paradise Pier going through downtown Disney, and then people from other hotels along Harper Boulevard coming in that way. So that will be interesting to see how that all plays out. But once again, we don't know any of that until we see the reopening guidelines and Disney can actually make announcements. In the description below, I'm going to link to the channel Best Life and Beyond, because this past week they had a really great video. I'll link to the specific video where they actually saw the chairman of Disney Parks, Josh D'Amaro, where he was touring through California Adventure on Buena Vista Street. So there is a lot of action going on. It does seem good things are coming. Hopefully they will soon. And lastly, Disneyland has canceled hotel reservations up till October 3rd, and they are not letting new hotel reservations start until October 16th. So that's kind of where we're pushed out to at that point. That doesn't mean things couldn't restart sooner, because they haven't canceled between the 3rd and the 16th, but they're not letting anything new start because, once again, no guidelines, so we can't get going. In the comments below, I would love to hear your thoughts to the press conference with the different mayors and their thoughts on getting the communities going again. I know there's a lot of different feelings on both sides of this. Once again, I want us to be safe, to stay healthy, play it safe, but at the same time, I definitely want those people who need to get back to their jobs to have that opportunity to do it in a safe way. So that's kind of where my thoughts are right now, but I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. But thank you so much for watching, and we'll see y'all again real soon. Bye.